Welcome to Legend Stories. Today we will see how frustrating it feels when you fail over and over again and see no real results or improvements. But how important it is to just keep going to reach your goals. So what are we waiting for? Let's start today's story.
For the practice field, but Flint and Sora felt no warmth. For the 100th time, Flint's arrow wobbled through the air and thumped uselessly into the dirt, far from the target. Beside him, Sora dropped his bow, his shoulders slumped in defeat. They had been practicing for weeks, yet their progress felt as invisible as the wind. "It's no use," Flint growled, his face flushed with heat. "We aren't getting any better. Why do we even keep trying?" Their father, Kenzo, watched from the shade of a nearby willow tree. He saw the fire of frustration burning in Flint's eyes. Kenzo stepped forward, his footsteps silent on the grass, and placed a steady hand on Flint's trembling shoulder. "The bow is a mirror, my son," Kenzo said softly. "It reflects what is happening inside you. If your heart is a storm, your arrow will fly like a leaf in a gale." Flint looked away, refusing to meet his father's calm gaze. Sora sat down in the tall grass, pulling at the blades with restless fingers. "But we've worked so hard, Father," Sora whispered, his voice cracking. "Every day we are here, and every day we fail. Is there something wrong with us? Are we just not meant for this?" Kenzo sat down in the grass beside Sora, his expression filled with a quiet, knowing light. He looked at his youngest son not with pity, but with a deep, patient understanding. "Come with me," Kenzo said, standing up and gesturing toward the edge of the deep woods where the wild bamboo grew. He led Flint toward a small, cleared patch of earth that looked empty and forgotten. There were no flowers here, no bushes, just brown soil and a few withered leaves. "Do you see this ground, Flint?" Kenzo asked. Flint nodded, confused. "I planted a seed here years ago. I watered it every day. I made sure the sun could reach it." Sora caught up to them, looking at the barren patch of dirt. "What did you plant, Father?" Sora asked. Flint kicked at a stone. "Whatever it was, it must have died. There's nothing here but dirt." The two brothers shared a look of disappointment. They had expected a lesson in greatness, but all they saw was a graveyard of effort. They thought of their own arrows in the dirt and felt a cold weight in their chests. Kenzo turned to Sora. "For 4 years I came to this spot. I carried water from the stream when the rains didn't fall. I pulled the weeds that tried to steal its space. For 4 long years, the neighbors laughed. They said I was watering a memory." Sora looked at his father's weathered hands. He imagined those hands working for years, with nothing to show for it. "4 years?" Sora asked, "and nothing grew?" Kenzo turned back to Flint, his voice growing stronger, more dramatic. Then came the 5th year. In the 5th year, a tiny green shoot broke through the crust of the earth. And then, Flint, it did not just grow, it exploded. In 60 days, the Chinese timber bamboo grew 80 feet tall. It towered over the oaks and the maples. It reached for the very clouds. Flint's jaw dropped as he looked up at the massive, established bamboo stalks nearby. "Did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks?" Flint asked, his voice hushed. Sora reached out to touch the smooth, hard surface of a nearby bamboo stalk. He felt the strength vibrating within the wood. The brothers looked at each other, the realization beginning to dawn. The silence of the forest seemed to echo with the sound of things growing in the dark, hidden places where no one could see them. Kenzo knelt between them. "No," he said to Sora, "it did not grow 80 feet in 6 weeks. It grew 80 feet in 5 years. If it had not spent those 4 years growing roots deep into the heart of the mountain, it would have collapsed the moment it tried to reach for the sky. Your practice is your root growing time, Sora. Every missed arrow, every tired muscle is a root taking hold in the dark." Flint and Sora walked back to the practice field, but they did not hurry. Flint picked up his bow and felt the weight of it, not as a burden, but as a tool. He took a breath, feeling his feet planted firmly like roots in the soil. He looked at Sora, who smiled and notched his own arrow. They didn't care if they hit the target today. They knew that deep down, where no one could see, they were becoming giants.
Thank you for listening to the story. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to subscribe and show your support to the channel.